Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Paul Lisnick. Well, you are familiar with the iconic television show South Park. Well, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of that show, have created one of the biggest shows in Broadway history called The Book of Mormon, and it's playing now in Chicago at the Bank of America Theater. I had the chance to sit down with the creators of the show and the stars of The Book of Mormon. Take a look. Well, gentlemen, obviously, your television work, your movie work, iconic. You've come to the Broadway stage, now here in Chicago, bringing, I think, one of the funniest and best shows of all time, Book of Mormon, here. So I want to start by asking you, I know you guys were intrigued by Mormons ever since about 1998, something like that, and then Bobby Lopez comes into your life. Talk about that meeting and how it is you said, this is a topic that belongs on stage as a musical.
It always was in our work, you know, from the first film we did in college together, and then early independent films we did before South Park, and then in South Park, we were bringing up Mormons all the time, and so we knew there was some big Mormon thing we needed to do. And then we were doing a puppet movie, we were doing Team America, and we heard there was this other puppet show on Broadway, and so we thought, oh, we better see it and make sure they're not the same thing. Went and saw Avenue Q knowing nothing about it, and saw that our names were in the special things, which we thought was really weird. This really literally all happened like this. Then we loved the show. Bobby came down and said, I want to introduce myself, I wrote the show. And we're like, yeah, why are we in the special thanks? He said, I wrote the show because I saw South Park the movie, and I saw Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and it made me want to write something, and I wrote this. We're like, wow, that's so cool. And we went out that night and started talking about what next. And he said, you know, I've always thought about doing something about Joseph Smith. And we're like, well, that's what we want to do. And it was just like, yeah, we kind of thought maybe it'd be something like this. And he's like, yeah, I thought something like this. And we're like, we should do this together.
Is this funny, Matt? Is this funny because it's true?
Yeah, well, it's not true. You know, we did come up with a story of two fake Mormons, you know, two missionaries to go to Africa and stuff. But
the points you make.
The points, yeah. I mean, it's like that. I think it works because it's relatable. I mean, even though, you know, that's part of the show is like we wanted it to be about Mormons, but it's supposed to, like, part way through the show, you're supposed to realize, oh, this is about me, and this is about religion, and this is about stories, and this is about human beings. So these two missionaries, and I mean, we didn't go on missions growing up. They get sent from their perfect paradise in Utah to this war-torn country. And, you know, that's a funny version of like what I went through when I went to college. You know, there's a coming of age story that I think we all can relate to. There's a fish out of water story we can all relate to. There's a buddy story that we can all relate to. So, yeah, any kind of movie or any kind of thing doesn't work if it's completely unrelated.
Elder Price, Elder Cunningham, I would call them sort of blissfully ignorant. We have to like them, or this doesn't work, but we do.
But we do like them.
We do like them.
We do like them. Yeah, they're two. There's only one bad guy in the whole thing. I mean, this is a story about good people kind of fumbling through life and trying to figure out, you know, meeting and figuring each other out. So it's a musical. It's not supposed to be a big cynical, like, you know, we wanted it to be a really uplifting story.
Are you guys out to kind of change the world or just entertain it?
Yeah, just entertain some people that come to our show one night. not change the world, not even entertain the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we ever, even one episode of South Park, if we ever sat down and said, how can we change the world?
It'd be the worst episode
it'd be the
ever.
Worst. So
yeah.
That's not happening.
We just want to give people, like for this show, we did try to, we kept it in mind that, you know, going to a show is a big deal. You dress up, a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of money. It's like, it's a different thing than watching a TV show, and we always just wanted to give people a good night out.
Don't wait to get your tickets for Book of Mormon. Just go to BroadwayInChicago.com and see one of the funniest shows you will probably ever see on a theatrical stage. I'm Paul Lisnick. Thanks for joining us here on this special edition of Comcast Newsmakers.